Imagine experiencing a natural high so powerful it feels almost unreal. Like your body is floating, your mind is clear, and every sensation is amplified, yet you haven't taken anything at all. No substances, no external triggers, just you, fully present, fully aware, and completely connected to your own energy. Now imagine that same state coming from within your own body, something you've always had access to but were never taught how to use. This is not fantasy. It's a deeply rooted human capability, and once you understand it, it changes how you experience yourself entirely. Picture your physical body slowly dissolving into sensation, as if the boundaries that define you begin to soften. You're no longer just thinking, you're feeling intensely and completely. What you're tapping into in that moment is your sexual energy, often misunderstood and underestimated, yet it is the most powerful force within you. This is the same energy responsible for creating life itself. If it holds that level of creative power, then its potential goes far beyond what most people ever explore. It carries its own intelligence, its own rhythm, and when guided properly, it can transform the way you feel, think, and connect. In this practice, the focus is not just on physical sensation, but on allowing this energy to move freely throughout your entire body. Instead of being confined to one area, it begins to travel, expand, and awaken parts of you that may have been dormant for years. This is where the real shift begins. The experience becomes less about momentary pleasure and more about deep internal activation, something that builds from within and spreads across your whole system. The process begins in a simple but essential way through stillness. You start with meditation and controlled breathing, slowing everything down so your body can relax and your awareness can sharpen. This stage is important because most people live in a constant state of tension without even realizing it. By calming your breath and quieting your mind, your body becomes more sensitive, more receptive, and more open to sensation. It's like turning up the volume on your own awareness. From there, the experience gradually deepens. A full body approach is introduced, using intentional touch designed to awaken your energy pathways. Each movement has a purpose, not random, but carefully directed to open your system step by step. The focus is not rushed. It builds slowly, allowing your body to adapt and respond naturally. As this happens, your awareness shifts from thinking to feeling, from controlling to allowing. Particular attention is given to areas that hold emotional and energetic significance, especially your heart and the center of your creative and sexual energy. These regions are often blocked due to stress, conditioning, or past experiences. As they begin to open, something subtle yet powerful starts to happen. You feel more connected, not just physically, but emotionally and internally. What makes this process unique is that it doesn't force anything. Instead, it creates the right conditions for your energy to move on its own. And when it does, the effects are not just physical, they're deeply psychological and emotional. You begin to experience yourself in a way that feels new, yet strangely familiar, like rediscovering a part of you that was always there but never fully accessed. As the experience continues, the focus shifts toward activating and guiding that energy more directly. What was once subtle now becomes more noticeable, more alive. The intention here is not just to build sensation, but to amplify it in a controlled and conscious way, allowing it to rise and move beyond its usual limits. This is where many people begin to realize how restricted their experience has been until now. Instead of energy staying localized, it is encouraged to expand and travel upward through the body. When it reaches the heart space, something profound begins to unfold. There is often a deep sense of openness, a feeling that is difficult to describe but impossible to ignore. For many, this becomes their first real encounter with a sense of unconditional acceptance, feeling complete, valued, and at ease within themselves without needing to prove anything. At this stage, emotions may surface unexpectedly. You might feel waves of sadness, bursts of laughter, or even moments of anger. These reactions are not random, they are signs of release. Layers of tension and suppressed feelings begin to dissolve, making space for something lighter, freer, and far more authentic to emerge. As these emotional layers begin to clear, a new sense of freedom starts to take shape. You're no longer holding on to the same internal pressure, and that shift changes how you relate to yourself and to others. There's a growing feeling of openness, making it easier to connect on a deeper, more genuine level. What once felt blocked or distant now feels accessible and natural. In everyday life, many men are constantly expected to perform, achieve, and stay in control. There's always a sense of responsibility, of needing to be on all the time. But in this space, that expectation disappears completely. There is nothing to prove, nothing to manage. You're allowed to simply exist, to receive and to experience without any pressure to respond or give anything back. For many, this alone is a rare and powerful shift. It creates a kind of mental and emotional break that is difficult to find elsewhere. Especially for those with demanding lifestyles, this becomes one of the few moments where everything slows down. It's not just relaxation, it's a reset, a chance to step out of constant tension and reconnect with a calmer, more grounded state within yourself. For individuals who live fast-paced, demanding lives, this kind of experience often becomes something deeply valuable. When your schedule is constantly full and your mind is always occupied, it's easy to forget what it feels like to truly slow down. This practice offers a rare opportunity to step away from that intensity and focus entirely on yourself without distraction or pressure pulling you in different directions. Many who go through this describe it as a complete mental and physical reset. It creates a space where your body can release built-up stress while your mind finally gets a break from constant activity. Instead of pushing forward nonstop, you allow yourself to pause, and that pause has a powerful effect. It restores clarity, improves your overall sense of well-being, and helps you return to your daily life with a more balanced state of mind. What makes it even more unique is the way it shifts your perspective. Rather than always being in a position of control, you experience what it feels like to let go, trust the process, and simply receive without expectation. As the experience deepens further, it begins to take on a more symbolic and meaningful dimension. You are no longer just going through a physical process. You are stepping into a space where your presence is fully acknowledged and valued. In many traditions, this kind of energy is seen as a representation of strength, creation, and identity. Experiencing it in this way can shift how you see yourself on a very fundamental level. Instead of feeling like you always need to chase validation or prove your worth, you begin to feel a sense of being appreciated simply for existing. Every part of your body, every sensation, is approached with attention and intention. This creates a powerful internal response where you start to recognize your own value without needing external confirmation. For many, this becomes one of the most impactful aspects of the entire experience. It introduces a level of intimacy that goes beyond the surface. You're not just feeling physical sensation, you're experiencing a deeper connection with yourself. That connection builds confidence in a natural way, not through effort, but through awareness. And when that awareness grows, it changes how you carry yourself, both within and outside of this space. As this journey reaches its final stage, one of the most important shifts becomes clear. Your understanding of energy begins to change completely. Most people experience this energy only in a limited way, often keeping it restricted to one part of the body. But here, you learn that it can move, expand, and flow throughout your entire system when guided correctly. This is where a deeper level of awareness develops. Sensations are no longer isolated, they become full-body experiences. What once felt brief and localized now turns into something sustained and expansive. It requires patience and consistency to reach this level on your own, but through this process, your body starts to learn it naturally. At the same time, you also recognize the importance of trust and openness. Stepping into something this vulnerable is not easy, but it is part of what makes the experience so impactful. When you allow yourself to fully engage without resistance, the results become far more meaningful.